I want to talk to you about shining eyes and smiles that inspire me and my team to do what we do. They are positive emotions, and they're the goals and they're targets that we are aiming for with our designs. Our tools are light, crystal, and space. And this is a short story about how we connect the tradition of classic chandeliers to the future of decorative lighting, what in our opinion are playful and interactive installations. I'm connected to you from my office in Vienna, but the team of Preciosa is based in the Crystal Valley in the Czech Republic. The Crystal Valley is in the heart of Bohemia. And Bohemia is not only the origin of Bohemian crystal, but also the origin of the famous chandeliers, whose tradition dates back until the early 18th century, just like the roots of our company. A few impressions from our archives: molds, tools, and sketches which were collected over the centuries. Looking at the history of artificial light, which started more than 10,000 years ago, actually when humans discovered how to control fire and use it as a light source, the major artistic and technical achievements just lie in the recent centuries. Nevertheless, light, natural or artificial, is addressing our very archaic feelings and is a key to our emotions. Over these centuries, light evolved from a purely functional tool to decorative elements of space, or in other words, into jewelry of space. Our ancestors played a significant role in the development of decorative lighting and helped to shape important milestones in this field. The objects they crafted became prestigious symbols of status and glory, and you can find them all over the world in various places, castles, and palaces, impressing visitors of their owners with the magic of the light back in the days as well as today. But today our task is to continue and connect to this heritage, to translate its magic into modern times. Therefore, we need to understand what inspired our ancestors to create these pieces of art. And like throughout history of art and design, it was nature that was the main source of inspiration. Like for example the acanthus leaf, evolving from Corinthian columns to Baroque and classicistic ornaments, one that you can also find on chandeliers. Or a flower stalk and its blossoms were prototypes for chandelier arms and dripping pans, holding candles, the original sources of light for chandeliers. And here, many of you know the pendulum, but might not know its relationship to a leaf of an oak tree. Nowadays, we also use nature as a source of inspiration, but we combine it with new technologies. Here a 3D scan of a dry tree trunk were prepared, so we could precisely include it into one installation. Once having the geometry, we calculated a CFD, a fluid dynamic simulation, to get a realistic natural movement of leaves, to achieve what you can see here. The moment the wind hits a tree and the blossoms and leaves are taken away. Connecting to the idea of spatial jewelry, we are embedding bespoke objects into interiors to create atmospheres. Here a crystal biosphere that both imitates and includes nature. Or another blossom flight, a mathematical streamline movement achieving a natural looking composition of wind taking away blossoms of a flower field. Sometimes the light effects itself serve as an inspiration, like the situation found in a forest on a bright summer day. The aim was not to replicate nature, but to replicate the light condition of sun rays at the clearing in a forest, creating a vivid shadow pattern on that floor. It is achieved by abstraction, and here we used crystal and greenery. Sometimes the concept of a chandelier can be even the driving force of an interior space. In this case, a restaurant, following the idea of dining in a crystal forest under a floating treetop. Here people don't sit in the shadow of trees, but in their light. Certainly, like in the past, the second main ingrediency, next to light itself, is crystal. Traditionally cut crystal elements were used. Today, it's more a mix of a gentle glow and sparkle. The magic happens, however, when you combine the two, achieving this fascinating, sparkling quality that addresses the human archaic feelings. That is why you are naturally drawn to it. It is again the relationship to nature, the moment the first sunlight hits a water drop of a morning dew and creates that sparkling moment. Nature, on the one hand, is an inspiration for atmospheres. On the other hand, it teaches us phenomena in physics. What is the physics of sparkle? I call it the equation of sparkle. It has 3 parameters. Naturally, the sun, the emitter of light, water as the reflected medium, and the recipient, a person. In a man-made world, it is an artificial light source. The crystal drop, and of course again, the human eye. By moving around, a person changes angles between himself, the crystal, and the light, and the sparkling phenomenon is created. As with any equation, you can transform it while maintaining its logic. For example, when leaving the person static and make the crystals move, you also achieve a sparkling effect. This simple thought led to this design. We call it the crystal automata. Crystals turn, move up and down, but see yourself in a short video. The artistic inspiration were the 4 elements of nature: water, earth, air, and fire. But the technical challenge was to create a reliable mechanism. The inspiration was taken from ancient clockworks, where one single force, one single engine, is used to orchestrate a large number of different movements. This is a detail of our mechanism, showing how we translated a single circular movement by a sophisticated pulley system to create a choreography of hundreds of dancing crystals. Back to the equation of sparkle. The third option is to introduce movement to the light itself. It's a principle we used in many projects, and that allows us a new range of possibilities. A famous installation, also inspired by nature, is Canopy of Light. An alley of trees inside a hotel lobby, continuing an alley of trees outside of the building. Like wind is moving the palms outdoors, a breeze of light moves through the interior space, but have a look yourself.
This is a story about a little boy who had big dreams. His eyes saw what others couldn't see. Where others saw a desolate desert, he saw a vast city full of palaces and beauty. Where others saw a lonely, abandoned gaff tree, he saw a crystal oasis and heard the bubbling of pure water.
Let's get back to this image, the particular situation of nature. But this time, leave the physics behind and focus on the emotional message to human beings. Light, reflected by water, is a symbol of life, or as Dennis Detton would name it, it's beauty by evolution that humans, regardless of their cultural condition, are naturally drawn to. I'm sure you know what I mean. Children cannot resist. And when you replace water with crystal, also adults cannot. We're getting to the point where we not only aim to create an atmosphere, but we try to engage with people. We want them to come closer, to explore, to play, to interact with light, with crystal, with our designs. The desire to make light tangible led to this installation, and again, a video will introduce it better.
I am a pearl, a beautiful, shining gem, a jewel born from the sea. My real secret, though, is my dedication to craft. I light up every space and energize every person with my light. Come closer. With your electrifying touch, we will together brighten lives and bring smiles to people's faces. I am art. I am memories. I am light.
How does that work? Once again, step by step. You take a pearl, you charge it by rolling it in your hands, and then you place it back. There it distributes the light to all the other pearls in the bowl and slowly charges the installation above. Light is traveling along the string of pearls and finally dropping the light back into the bowl. While touch is one way to engage with a narrative, there are many others. A single breath was the driving force of the next installation. Just like blowing soap bubbles. And the cloud of soap bubbles was also the formal inspiration, which was quite directly translated. Blowing is a gesture we all know from celebrations, especially from our childhood. This installation incorporates two ideas, the interaction between a person and an object, as well as the interaction between two people via an object. This means individual breaths are traveling as light streams through the installation, burst into bigger light bursts if they meet, creating the challenge of catching another person's breath. This leads me to another installation, where we solely focused on the interaction between people.
The concept Pearl Wave is actually inspired by the sea. On the one side, the geometry of the overall installation reflects the movement of water and the waves. And it also closes the gap between people who are usually underneath the chandelier and celebrating, enjoying an evening, and the light which is reacting on it by cheering the glasses.
The sound of clinking glasses is the hidden trigger for this installation, and this particular one was designed for a private yacht. Here the focus completely shifted on the people and the situation they are in. We just surround them with our light-giving objects. This leads me to the last installation I want to share with you today, where we highlight another human moment, hugging, a gesture of dear friendship. It communicates appreciation and creates a feeling of well-being, but see yourself and watch your people's faces.
I celebrate good times. I hide surprises that you can discover. It is a mystery what is behind me. Perhaps it's something curious, something exciting, something emotional. I play hide and seek with crystal and light. Years of bohemian crystal mastery have helped craft me. But I need you to bring me to life. To turn on the light, will you come and play? Without you, I am just a design. With you, we can connect people through light. Look to me. My name is Pearl Curtain.
This concept was created to invite people to a dreamlike place, inspire them to hug their friends. Built as a carousel that spins while the canopy remains still. The light and the sound follows every person under the installation. And once you hug or you shake hands in the center, this moment receives an illuminated reward. Interactive design gives us the chance to make people play, to make them feel like they did when they were children, keen to explore and simply try things out. Furthermore, it allows to surprise and react, to highlight moments of life, which we all share and understand intuitively and subconsciously. It reflects my understanding of design, to inspire people to interact with each other in a positive and a playful way. The most charming compliment I can get on our installations It's the smile on the people's faces while they play, to explore and interact with our designs. And in the end, it's their sparkling eyes.